Settling on the top four wide receivers at Green Bay is kind of like herding cats. Just it's hard to get down here. Jaden Reed comes in, Matthew Golden, and Romeo Dobbs. They'll be certainly in the top four. But then here comes the question marks. We have Christian Watson, who's hurt ACL last year, supposed to be out till midseason, could be back early. Dontavian Wicks comes in, had a good rookie year, but last year didn't do so good. How about McCole Hardman, brought in free agency? And then Savion Williams here, brought in third round draft this year. And Bo Melton and Malik Heath end up bringing up the crew here. We have Christian Watson, could be back sooner than later, and that's the huge impact here, kind of making these trade rumors go around. And Matthew Golden looking good in OTAs and in practice. So Christian Watson's early return, maybe they're going to trade Romeo Dobbs. One article had him trading Christian Watson. And, well, Wicks here, on the other hand, led the team in targets last year, but also had 8 drops. Unsightly drop rate of 17%. That won't do in the NFL. And McCole Hardman, they just brought him in. He'd been looking good in OTAs. He caught a long one, making some connections deep with Jordan Love. And then they come out in the next article or two, say that McCole Hardman's on the hot seat, might get cut. And, of course, you got the third rounder looking pretty good, Savion Williams. So you got him around. Here's this all coming about because of the contracts. Romeo Dobbs, his contract's over in 2025, and so is Christian Watson. So they're playing under their last year. Can they trade him real quick and get something for him? That's what they're thinking. So it makes it hard to decide which one you're going to take as your wide receiver number 4 here. All right, hit that subscribe button as the season gets closer, our fantasy season. You want to be subscribed to get the latest. And give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Thank you. All right, let's get started looking at these two teams. We're going to start down at wide receiver number 4. All right, we have Tesla brought in for Detroit. Kind of a surprise. 3rd round pick. 4.4 speed. Only 500 yards and 3 touchdowns in his last collegiate year. Usually get a lot more stats because they're the big star on their team. Gonna brought in to battle Tim Patrick probably for the number 3 spot. Meanwhile, Green Bay brings in Savion Williams. All right, big receiver, made plays in college from every conceivable position, running offense, good at sweeps, running the ball. So he was brought in the 3rd round, 87th pick overall. Well, we didn't know about Christian Watson's health. He's been used in wildcat formations, big and strong, 6'5", 225, a little bit raw on his route running. And might take a while to get going here, but 4.48 for that big size. He's in there. Of course, this Tesla, 70th pick overall, kind of traded up to get him. You know, and more of a future, I guess. We have Tim Patrick and even Khalif Raymond here too, but we went ahead and put him as the number 4 receiver. We got the number 2 team passing versus the team 12. You got to go with this Williams because of just so much unsettled above. You know, with the Romeo Dobbs possibly being traded. How about Christian Watson being traded? Maybe they keep both, but we're going to go with this Williams. And because, hey, you never know. He might get in there and see meaningful action as compared to Detroit's got pretty good other offensive weapons going. How about backup quarterback here? We have Hayden Hooker. Matter of fact, he not even sure that he's going to be the backup quarterback. He currently on the roster as the number 2. They're not sold on him. They brought him Teddy Bridgewater down the stretch run last year to be the backup. That meant he wasn't. And they got Kyle Allen, a 7-year veteran, coming in to challenge him in camp. So you have him on one side. Of course, Malik Willis did pretty good for the Packers last year. Finished 44th at quarterback. Got into some meaningful games early. Has that good running ability too. Assembled a QB rating of 124. and over for the limited action he was in last year. 1-2 starts in weeks 2 and 3 when Love sat out. So got in here. Malik Willis was a third rounder back in 2022, more promising, especially when Hooker might not even hold his job. So we're going with Malik Willis there, obviously. So moving on to running back number 3, Craig Reynolds. Household name, even though he finished 98th. Always seeming to get in there sometimes. Appeared in 48 games since 2021 when they joined him. Now, he does some special teamings, and so does this Viak, who could replace him down the road. Both are special team contributors. Both have 2 guys up in front of him, so you don't get a lot of action. Emmanuel Wilson for Green Bay, right? Finished 42nd last year, kind of a surprise. 500 yards rushing, very good. When Marshawn Lloyd struggled to stay healthy, Wilson took advantage of it and came to back up behind Jacobs. They're talking more about that. Him going to be ready this year? So you just don't know. I'm still going to go with Emmanuel Wilson, because what if that Marshawn Lloyd isn't ready and Emmanuel Wilson gets all the action he did last year? Now, Craig Reynolds has been good as spot duty, but hey, Emmanuel Wilson kind of shined last year, so we'll go with him. Packers off to a 3-0 lead. Comes in backup running back David Montgomery. Everybody knows about him. Finished 18th in fantasy. Detroit's offense, number 1 offense, is able to sustain 2 running backs. Had 12 touchdowns. That's pretty well what he's been for. Scored 10 of the 14 games he scored a touchdown. Now, Johnny Morton comes in and could change the running back rotation around a little bit. Maybe not give him as many carries, but we'll wait to see on that. But Montgomery's been a strong number 2. And we got Marshawn Lloyd, who could never stay healthy. Finished 129, 15 yards rushing last year on 10 regular season snaps. All right, just can't stay healthy. All that promise coming out. Of course, he was 89th overall. Hip, hamstring injuries sidelined him. Looks for more action in year 2. They're promoting him a little bit. We look at the position schedule, 28th for Detroit. Running's not going to be so good. Hey, Packers got 18th. Sounds not too great, but hey, they were 31st last year, so a little easier sledding for the running backs this year. You can see both number 5 team in rushing versus the number 6 team in rushing. Both running back they get a lot of action on these 2 teams. Of course, we're going with David Montgomery. He's more proven and has been finished 18th over. He's ranked 20th this year coming in, and Marshawn Lloyd's ranked 57th by the consensus. But maybe down. Hey, a lot of question marks in Detroit this year, and for the running game, for the passing game, new offensive coordinator. So hey, but we'll go with David Montgomery, obviously, bringing it to a 1-3. Up next is wide receiver number 3, Tim Patrick. All right, Tim Patrick brought in from Denver, finished 85th overall. 300, almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Re-signed early in free agency. Now, they went out and re-signed him early, gave him only a 1-year deal, but they wanted him back. Hey, the 2022 and 23 seasons, of course, been slowed by injuries. So he stayed kind of healthy last year, had better results. This is up against Romeo Doubs. All right, Romeo Doubs finished 59th, 6 points a game, 600 yards. So trade rumors, of course, have come on since they picked up those 2 wide receivers in the draft. Had 2 concussions late. So that's kind of important. I mean, would you trade for someone who had 2 concussions in one season? Probably not. So they keep talking about trading him. But he's fully healthy right now. Getting full clearance and ready to go. So... But, hey, anytime you got a concussion history, I don't see a team spending a lot on him to bring him in. Now, his average was far superior to Tim Patrick last year. But 2 new receivers brought into Green Bay. Matthew Golden, Anderson. But I have Romeo Dobbs as number 3. So we're going to go with Romeo Dobbs. Especially if he does get traded, he could be, but hey, Detroit's got such a strong 1 and 2, all right, with JMO and St. Brown here that you're just, no. So we're going to go, and the competition for that rookie 3, who's sitting in the number 4 spot, right? This rookie they brought in, Tesla. So we're going to go with Romeo Dobbs, right? So bring it on to the next one. We're going to go to the wide receiver number 2. All right, Jameson Williams came on last year, finished 13th overall, 10 points a game, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, big jump in number 3, third year, right? Ranked 4th in yards after the catch. Another breakout's possible. Hey, they picked up his 5th-year option, so they're looking for better things from him. Really came on last year. Of course, he's up against Golden, high draft pick for the Packers this year. Strong impressions and OTA's been looking like everything is advertised. So a lot of trade rumors on those other wide receivers to fit him in, right? So this is a big one. You can see consensus has JMO ranked 26th and Golden ranked 43rd. So you see that the Green Bay Packers have the easiest running or wide receiver schedule. That's great for them. Impressive rookie, could get off, but hey, we're going with someone who finished 13th in fantasy last year. They got him ranked 26th. All right, I think that's going to be a good value. I'll be looking to draft me some Jameson Williams. All right. Hey, there's a lot of changes going on there, But hey, after a strong year, we're going to go with Jameson Williams, brings it to a 3 to 4. And next up, the tight end, Sam Laporta. Right, had a better rookie season than last year. Still finished 7th, right? 726 yards, 7 touchdowns, set records in his rookie year. Maybe there's going to be a little learning curve under the new offensive coordinator. So Ben Johnson, of course, leaves. Worried about some of the offensive players for Detroit. This Tucker Kraft for the Packers was no slouch either. Finished 6th, right? 707 yards, 7 touchdowns. Benefited from Musgrave being injured the last couple years here. League leading average of 9.3 yards after the catch for tight ends. Had some of the wide receiver turnover last year was kind of bad too. So you can see here, fourth rank for Laporta, consensus ranking 10th for Tucker. I think that might be a little high for him with the new competition here at wide receiver. I mean, you got Reed, Golden, Dobbs, and maybe, Christian Watson if he comes back, there's not that there isn't a lot for Laporta too. So, but we're going to go with Laporta. All right, get back on. Hey, number 3 easy position schedule for tight end for Detroit. All right, that's pretty good. And 27th for Green Bay. This is a tight end position only. So, hey, looking good for Sam Laporta. Keep an eye on him in your tight end drafts. Could have a bounce back year. You see here, look at that a little bit down. Look at that. Was one of the tops in 2023. Had a little down year last year. Fell to a 7-point average. Almost 10 the year before that. But anyway, we'll bring back Laporta. Look for him to bounce back next year. Bring up the next one is number 1 wide receiver, Mon St. Brown. Hey, he was the number 3 in fantasy with almost 12 points a game, 1,260 yards, 12 touchdowns, 3 straight seasons with 1,100 yards. Had a little surgery on his knee to clean things up, but I ain't too worried about that. I've had a few of those myself, and you bounce right back. 850 yards, 6 touchdowns. So, led in receiving, this is Jaden Reed. Of course, has bulked up to 199 pounds this offseason, right? From 187 playing last year. Trying to be a little bit more versatile. But Jaden Reed finished 20th last year. 6 touchdowns. Hey, led in receiving yards his first 2 seasons for the Packers. Smaller receiver with short arms, so thing is, that's kind of Matthew Golden has better speed, better depth. I mean, it's going to be, I think, anything, Jaden Reed might fall down a little bit this year. They got him preseason ranked 46th, and he finished 20th. So, yeah, they're thinking the same thing in consensus land. 46th. And, of course, Amon St. Brown's ranked 8th. So obviously this is going to be Amon St. Brown. Should have another good year for him. Although, hey, you worry about the new offensive coordinator and the new center, right, coming in too. So how about the number one wide receiver, our running back, Gibbs for Detroit, finished 3rd, 18 points a game. Just took over. 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns. Of course, David Montgomery was out late, giving him full run the last 3 weeks. Gibbs averaged 5.6 yards per carry. Everything looked great, so there's nowhere to go but down, right? New center, Ragnow retires. That's not so good for an offense. And new offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson's moved on, where they have growing pains there. Josh Jacobs came in, lit up the Packers last year, finished 5th, 15.4, 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, did great. Marshawn Lloyd, Jacobs says Marshawn Lloyd's been looking really good, healthy, but extra wide receivers could open things up, so we're worried about the competition from Lloyd a little bit, but Jacobs probably took that down last year, of course. So, but the consensus has him ranked 9th, and you're not going to beat Jahmyr Gibbs here. Although the schedule might, 28th. Now, the 18th schedule for Josh Jacobs is a little easier. He had the 31st hardest one last year. So, both have good team rushing like we see. But you got to go with Gibbs. Propels Detroit to an early 12-4 lead. We move on to the most important quarterback position. We have Jared Goff returning, right? Finished 8th last year, 16 points, 37 touchdowns, 4,600 yards. Offense was just going great. What could it go wrong? Oh, new offensive coordinator, new center. He finished 8th last year. The consensus has him ranked 12th. He could regress a little bit with the changes there. How about Jordan Love? Jordan Love finished 18th last year. Very disappointing season. 25 touchdowns, passes, only 3,300 yards. Had regressions last year, injuries, more running with Jacobs came in. So what's going to turn that around? Hey, he consensus ranked 17th, finished 18th last year. Now the position schedule's kind to him, 9th schedule. He has some better weapons, obviously, to work with here too, with Golden brought in and Savion Williams. So, but you can see here, Jordan Love has the 17th middle of the rank schedule. So should finish around there. Very disappointing though. You look back the 2023, look at that, almost 16, 17 points a game, was in top 10. Really fell down last year with the team. So it's going to be kind of interesting. They have Goff finish 17th. And Goff, just on the fact that all he has to do is come out and do basically the same thing, where Jordan Love's hoping to catch up. But we're going to go with Jared Goff. Now, of course, there's problems with his team. It could cause some question marks. But, hey, Detroit takes a 16-4. Better talent on Detroit. Not too surprising. But Detroit, let's take a look at this.